Hey everyone, Jim Gonzalez here, EDI support. It's been a while. It was my first show for 2024, so happy New Year. Hope everybody's having a great start to the new year. Staying warm out there. I know in Pennsylvania it's a little cold, a little snowy out there. So, anyways, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about where are all the well-rounded EDI professionals. And this is something that's near and dear to my heart because I've currently been looking for well-rounded EDI professionals that know the Boomi platform inside and out. And what I mean by that is somebody that's set up integration, whether it's with NetSuite or Acumatica or whatever it's going to be, that they have that and that product is up and running. And they know how to set those things up, how to put those things in motion, how to set up AS2 in there, FTP, SFTP, understanding how the interaction works on the network level when you're having to open up ports or having to give permissions or all of those things. So we got our first comment. Let me show this. Can you do a session in the future for Seaburger? No, I cannot. I am not a Seaburger expert. I've dealt with Seaburger years ago. Unfortunately, I cannot be the person to do something on Seaburger. It's not a product that I run across often. In the United States and Canada, where we deal with a lot of our clients as far as EDI Support LLC, we do have some clients that are international, larger organizations that have a presence here in the US, maybe all throughout different entities in the other countries. But when it comes to certain products, Seaburger, I would not do a understanding walkthrough any of those type of things on. And that's what I find is a lot of people that reach out, they're not to get on a tangent, but a lot of people that reach out always ask me, hey, can you talk about this product? Can you talk about this particular product? And there's certain products, again, I'm not going to talk about unless I feel as though I can truly give you value. And again, these are all my thoughts. These are just from me. It's not like this is a script and a bunch of people that are telling me what to do, what to say. This is 25 years of experience in a couple weeks, actually a little over a week. It'll be 26 years of experience, which is crazy to me. So back to talking about Boomi, EDI professionals, well-rounded, all of that kind of stuff. So why does the EDI talent pool face scarcity even though the demand for individuals skilled in EDI is higher than ever? So what I want to talk about is in my recruiting, when I'm reaching out and we're posting jobs or we're asking for people, we're looking on LinkedIn, Reddit, wherever, okay? What I'm finding is a lot of individuals that are segmented. You can find people that can map all day long. Listen, I'm not trying to knock people that map, mappers, any of that kind of stuff. We all have to do that. But mappers is a huge percentage. If you're looking at the EDI pool, there's plenty of people that can do mapping, drag and drop, coding, whatever you want to call it, doing mapping. Is there a difference that some are more efficient than others? Yes. Is there a difference that mapping in Delta compared to mapping in Boomi has some nuances that are different? Yes. But for the majority, when you're looking at Boomi mapping and you're looking at EC or Delta mapping and you're looking at, you know, all the other products that are out there, the mapping is very similar. It may be a different programming language that you have behind the scenes for writing your different functions and all of those things, or drag and drops or whatever, but mapping is mapping. Taking data from JSON to ANSI X12, there's a lot of people that are doing that. Where you don't have people is understanding why they're doing the mapping, understanding how it flows and affects the business process, understanding how the data is originating and getting to you. Is it coming to you via AS2, FTP, utilizing an EDI mailbox? What is an EDI mailbox? When you say van, what does van mean? So a lot of people don't take it to the next level of understanding the why, understanding how it all pieces together. To be a very successful EDI professional, you're going to need to know all those different aspects: AS2, networking, FTP, mapping, business processes, order to cash process, transportation, logistics, healthcare claims, pharmaceuticals. I always tell people, listen, we do a lot of different things at EDI support because, as being the owner, leader, whatever you want to call me, for EDI Support LLC, I have no problems taking on movement of data. I have no problems taking on a file format, whether it's CSV, XML, CBXML, whatever it is, ANSI X12, Edifact, Tradeaccounts. I don't really care, because going from a file format to another file format is just data related. Understanding the format, understanding the nuances, understanding all of those things can be learned. Years of understanding of how it all works together and being able to visualize or write it down or describe it to people takes a lot of effort and a lot of knowledge. A lot of people say, oh, well, Jim, what sessions can I take out there? Listen, there's no magic pill. Do your own research. Look what's out there. See what's out there. Beg, plead, bargain. Do whatever you got to do to learn it, to learn APIs, to learn ANSI X12, to learn Edifact. Do what you got to do. Too many people can't get out of their own way with taking themselves to that next level. When you're an EDI professional or trying to obtain being an EDI professional, you have to get outside of your comfort zone. You have to stop relying on people to hand it to you. Nobody's going to hand it to you. At my company, I'm not set up to really train. We're set up to share knowledge amongst each other and help each other and work as a team and get the client taken care of. But I don't have training sessions. I don't have those things. If I ever get large enough and I want to get larger and get to that point, then I'll set up training sessions and I'll bring in speakers and I'll keep it in-house and I'll do all of these things. But as of right now, it's, hey, listen, go out to the Boomi community. Go out to any of the different offerings that are out there. Buy books on EDI. Look at the different online training aspects and invest in learning EDI. You're going to invest no matter what. Time is money. Money is time. Which way do you want to look at it? I happen to be fortunate enough where I fell into an organization that brought me in as a programmer. I didn't really like programming, so I didn't give it really my huge effort. And I knew I would never be able to stay being able to do it, or I would lose what I'm doing. So I then went on to support in that organization, and that organization then gave me an understanding of EDI. And I also learned ACH, unit automation, AIA, those different aspects. But guess what? So they're all file formats, and they're all a business process, and they're all understanding how do they link together? How does accounts receivable work? How does inventory work? How do sales orders work? How do purchase orders work? How do claims work? Put yourself in a position of understanding when you go to a doctor, what happens? Who pays what? Does it go to a government entity? Does it go to your insurance provider? What's going on there? So immerse yourself in what's happening. Too many are segmented. Well, you're just going to be a mapper. Well, ask, hey, how do I get into, I've been mapping now for 3 years and I'm at an organization. How do I get to the next level? How do I get involved in communication? How do I get involved in the business processes? How do I get involved in learning the why? There's not enough of that right now. There's too many that know certain pieces, but don't know how those pieces interact with everybody else. And there's too many that want it handed to them. I didn't get to the point that I'm at, or individuals that are working at EDI support get to the point that they're at, without answering the why, without increasing their knowledge. And what I'm finding is there's people that are reaching out and saying, hey, I know XYZ. Cool. That's great. That's not what I'm hiring for. I'm hiring for a booming professional. I'm hiring for somebody that knows, can hit the ground running, can educate the client, help the client, teach the client, do all those things, and not just be a mapper, not just be a communication person, not just be understanding the business process, not just, and again, it goes on and on and on. So you have to expand. You have to expand your knowledge. You have to expand what you're looking for. You have to expand, and you have to also understand that organizations of my size are not just bringing people in off the street. Sorry, it's not how we work. Larger organizations do that all day long. They hire a college student straight out, and they're bringing them in. They put them through a 2-week program, and then they stick them in front of a phone and say, "Here, answer this. Somebody's calling. Here's a detailed book of what you're supposed to say and how you're supposed to move them on to somebody else." So we got another comment. Let's go ahead and show that. Mostly in IBM, SI, so Sterling Integrator is what I'm guessing. EDI Manager with a passion, using ANSI X12, XML, but I think APIs are being used more often now. What's your opinion? Yes. APIs are starting to grow. APIs are growing, and they're going ahead, and people are utilizing APIs wherever they can. So, when you're linking up with Amazon, a lot of people are leaning more towards the API instead of leaning towards the EDI. API is essentially you're linking two different servers, the Amazon server to your server, or your iPaaS, or whatever, whoever's hosting the API software. You're getting that data to interact back and forth. People can hand you, a list of Postman scripts that tell you how the API works, or you can look on their website and they'll show you how it works. It's basically your menu of what data is available, what data is not available, all that fun stuff. So in my opinion, yes, EDI is being enhanced with API, okay? Is there a lot of people that are utilizing, and the growth of API market is growing? Yes. But again, if you look at my other videos, you'll also understand that API is really just another method that's underneath the EDI umbrella, okay? Because API is a communication. So you're communicating one server to another server, and you're going ahead out there and you're literally collecting the data, whether you're using an XML format or a JSON format. So that, by definition, API falls underneath EDI, because EDI is electronic data interchange. So what we do is, as we're looking as leaders, how do we as industry leaders, educators, professionals address the knowledge gap that EDI professionals face? Again, invest in training, mentorships, doing different initiatives, outreach efforts to attract and nurture the next generation of EDI experts. How do you do that? People are going to hate me when I say this stuff, but I'm very real. You try to enhance it by saying how sexy it is. It's not. EDI, processing data, getting phone calls that invoices aren't processing, ASNs are missing, EPSIS files are not getting to TradeLink or TraceRx or any of those different organizations. It's not sexy. But let's think of it this way. Can you make a good living? Yes. Can you make good money? Yes. Can you do all these things and you're helping to build organizations and you're building businesses? Yes. So training, getting in, maybe going to those large organizations that are bringing you in, teaching you their model, and excelling and growing throughout them will help you. And then eventually, maybe you start your own consulting group. Maybe eventually you come to work at EDI Support LLC because you've gained the knowledge and you've become a well-rounded professional. But what it is it's going to take time. 2 years in does not make you an EDI professional. Sorry, just telling you honestly, in 2 years' time, and I can speak to my own personal experience. I have my brother on my staff. My brother came in, he came in with the knowledge of web development, all of those things, and was like, hey, I can hit the ground running and I'll show you. He'll tell you to this day, he was fully mistaken. Because guess what? Even though he's my brother and working under my wing and learning from the people that we have and all the decades that we have on EDI support, guess what? There's still a lot to learn. It's drinking knowledge from a fire hose, especially when you work for EDI support, because you got all kinds of stuff coming at you. There's all kinds of different movements, information, all of that fun stuff. And if you're not at that level of being able to retain and bring in that knowledge, there's going to be a problem. So I'm going to start sharing. There's some more comments that we got going on here. It looks like there's a lot of people in 2024 that want to learn EDI, and hey, join in, listen to what's going on. All right. So I believe there is scarcity in the EDI talent pool because people are bounded to this EDI will be replaced by API, and good talent will end up switching either to ERP systems or mappers switch to development. It's a good take on it. Again, in my take, API falls under EDI. So again, it's movement of data. It's a communication between one server and another server and going ahead and seeing how that data moves back and forth, but not being segmented, not being in a certain segment, and understanding that, listen, I may be there for 2 years, but I want to grow and I want to move on to communication, or I want to move on to networking, or I want to move on to business processes, or whatever it may be. And I can give you pointers through the Discord. I can give you pointers. I can do all of those things, but it's on you as an individual to grow, not on me. So you can't say, well, you're not giving me help. You're not giving me the information I need. Listen, go find it. I'm only one person. There's only one group on the Discord, and everybody tries to share and help you the best ways we can. All right, so what can be a good learning and career path we should consider, I should say. I have 10 years experience working in API, EDI API, worked on IBM system integration, but don't see any much opportunity currently in the market, even if it is a niche skills. How should we tackle this? Learn Boomi. Everybody says that I drink the Boomi Kool-Aid or whatever, but guess what? Boomi is allowing you to learn their product, go into their community, take free training, take certifications, do all of those things to learn an iPass. Okay, so you can take your knowledge from Boomi, and maybe you want to move on, you want to look for MuleSoft or any of those type of things. Sterling Integrator, I can tell you, since I've been looking for people, it's a dime a dozen. There's a bunch of people that know Sterling Integrator. So if you think just because you know Sterling Integrator, and again, I'm not picking on you, if you think that just knowing Sterling Integrator is going to take you leaps and bounds, whether you know it for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it may be, it's not. There's less and less people that are out there utilizing Sterling integration for their organizations and for their companies. Most people are moving to an iPass. Plain and simple. Look at the numbers. Look at all the deals that I have that come in. I got a lot of people that reach out to me on a daily, on a quarterly basis. Not a lot of them are using Sterling Integrator. Just speaking the truth, okay? Not a lot of people are looking for people because the market is so saturated with Sterling Integrators. It's not even funny. So differentiate yourself. Get yourself into another product. Humble yourself. Get into another product. Do whatever you got to do. Again, beg, plead, pry, whatever you need to get into learning something else, or do it on your own. Like I said, Boomi has a free course that's out there. Get yourself trained. Get into it. Maybe somebody will give you a chance and bring you in, because maybe you're learning Boomi, or with Boomi, you know how to adjust and differentiate and get your mindset going that you can do an opening for a MuleSoft job or a Soligo job or whatever it may be that's out there. Use that. Broker it. Do those things that are going to differentiate yourself. Again, you can't do it, by having somebody like me hand it to you. I can't do that. I'm sorry. Nobody handed it to me. I'm not handing it to anybody else. I don't have a written method of what to do. Maybe at some point I will. Maybe at some point I'll do an ebook. Who knows? But as of right now, I don't have it. All right. Are the coding requirements different for APIs? So the coding requirements, if you think of it this way, go out there and do a research on NetSuite API. Literally Google it. Just do NetSuite API. look it up. It'll give you what that API looks like. Do Acumatica API. Google it online. You'll bring to Acumatica's website. It'll show you the documentation on an API. Compare the two of them. Again, it's a menu. It's showing you what is available through picking up that information. Not a lot of people are, and some people do the coding. You can use Postman, play around with it. There's a bunch of other ones that are out there that people like utilizing. I'm just familiar with Postman. That's the one I tell people, hey, I don't get paid by them, none of that kind of stuff. I got a, hi, Jim. Well, hello there, LinkedIn user. And Marty, yes. Knowledge, people needing to learn, people needing to expand, people needing to go ahead and grow themselves. Again, I'm one person. This is my opinion from the years of doing this, what I see out there, the interactions that I have. I can't say what everybody else is seeing. I can only speak to what I'm seeing. I can only speak to the clients I talk to, or the prospects I talk to, or the other business owners that I talk to, the other people that are in the EDI world. For me, it's hard for me to find people because, again, I'm looking for experience. I'm not looking for people that I can bring on, train them, do all those things. I need you to come on, hit the ground running. Here's some work. Here's clients that we're dealing with. If the team can help you out and answer some questions of something that you got stuck on, let's jump in. You know, but I'm looking for serious, experienced people that have been doing this and rocking at it and want to just have all kinds of different projects, all kinds of different client sizes that we help. So let's go back to our LinkedIn user. What are the common challenges or bottlenecks you face in deploying EDI solutions for your client's existing workflow? Challenges or bottlenecks? Let's give you the easy one. So challenges and bottlenecks for employing the EDI workflow. Clients not knowing how their business process should work. Clients, ERP, WMS, TMS, consultants, not truly understanding how it should work or having that layout done in their head. So taking the time to understand how the process should truly work and how the process should be in their system. Because as I always tell people, listen, our business process that we're doing is we're just automating what you already have in place. That's what EDI is. We're automating for a process that's already in place. We should not be using EDI systems to make up for deficiencies in your business process. Let me repeat that. We should not be making up for deficiencies inside of your business process. We can do tweaks, we can do minor adjustments, we can do all of those things. But if you're relying on your EDI platform, that's not where you should be relying, per my thoughts. All right, so I want to get in, I'll get to your next question, Marty, once I get into the next section that I wanted to talk about. How do you build well-rounded EDI professionals? What is needed beyond technical skills? Customer service. Understanding what the effects are on their EDI system. Understanding that this can make or break companies. Understanding, even if they're a startup, hey, listen, this is a brand new relationship. We have somebody that's working with AFIs. I've never done it before in my life. I'm trying to get my product out there. Well, guess what? If you don't help them set up EDI successfully with AFIs as a dropship or whatever it may be, and again, I'm just using this as an example, it could kill their organization. They could say, hey, listen, we have to fold out and we're done. Like we're done. So it's imperative that we recognize the significance of cultivating talent from within the organization. Ongoing training, mentorship, creating a dynamic workplace, just the growth of individuals into seasoned EDI professionals. It's not going to happen overnight. And understand that this is an investment over time for companies to grow those professionals, to take people from one department and move them into another department, or allow them to see how the other department works. So possesses a deep knowledge of business processes, compliance requirements, and the ability to adapt to evolving technologies. Encouraging that cross-functional collaboration can help create professionals. who not only excel in technology, but also understand its strategic impact. Think about that. You're growing because of those people. All right. So I got 2 more questions, then I'm going to jump off because I typically try to only do 20 to 30 minutes. That way people, I don't lose them. They don't fall asleep. They don't do any of those type of things. There's going to be plenty more of me and interactions in 2024. I took a little bit of a break there because of the holiday season. And hey, guess what? Sometimes I need a break and I need to rejuvenate. But as you can see, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to have conversations, ready to do whatever we need to in 2024. So which EDI platform do you think works best in parallel with SAP? So again, there's different flavors of SAP. There's SAP HANA, there's SAP Business One, there's all different, so that each one has different interactions. So from an EDI platform with SAP, typically those platforms that I see that work better are those platforms that are flexible. Those platforms that are able to not only just do ANSI X12, EDIFACT, they're able to also do OCR reading, they're able to do API connections, they're able to do iDocs, all of those things. So again, remember, SAP has different flavors depending on how you're going to interact with them. So iDocs really are just a formulated file that's laid out and positional and the whole 9 yards. But let's get into what I think has to always be flexible with that SAP system is being able to do the different things that are required of it. Okay. Being able to do XML, being able to do JSON, being able to do CSV files, all of the such. Because typical SAP users are major organizations, enterprise organizations, because SAP is not cheap. It's as simple as that. We deal with enterprise organizations. A lot of time, enterprise organizations really don't like us because they have their own EDI department that's been hanging out for 20 to 30 years and not developing and learning different things. So a lot of those enterprise organizations don't like us. Small to medium like us because they don't have EDI people on staff, or maybe they have one and they like us because we can help them and learn and be their support and help them to grow and do all those fun things. We don't typically deal with enterprise level. We'll maybe consult with them every now and then. Enterprise level that have their own EDI staff, maybe using SAP. If you're asking my opinion is platform-based, being able to not put yourself in a box or in a corner. A lot of these on-prem products, that you're looking at, they're not growing. They're not doing R&D. They're not doing all these things. And the reason they're not is because they're moving to that organization has a cloud development that they're doing, or they have managed services that they're really pushing. That's just my experience, is what I've seen over the last 10 years. And it's only getting more and more. All right, last question, and then I'm jumping off. Are there specific customization needs or flexibility requirements you see are lacking out there in the EDI tooling marketplace? Specific customizations or flexibility requirements? Not really. Just because, again, I'm out there, I'm reviewing all the different ones. I think the different tool sets already are aware of where they lack. And again, I'm not, I've been supporting ECS and Delta for over 20 years. But if anybody says to me, hey, I want to do API with ECS and Delta, I'm going to say, hey, it doesn't really have it built. It's bulletproof when it comes to ANSI X12 EDIFACT, because that's what it's built on, and it's been doing that and chucking away for 20 years. But if you wanted to do API and you're going to be leveraging a huge thing of API, it's not ECS and Delta. So the products that are out there that have been around for a long time know where their limitations are, know where their strong points are, know all of those things. Your different SaaS or iPaaS models and different platforms that are out there, they also know where they lack and where they don't lack, and where they're thinking effort needs to be done and where efforts don't need to be done. So for me to sit here and say what customizations are needed, I don't really see any, because again, they're not going to listen to me. That's just the truth of the matter. I've tried until I was blue in the face. All right, I lied. I'm going to do one more question. We're almost at the half-hour mark, and then I'm going to hop off. Which communication protocol is better, AS2 or SFTP? They both function. They both do what they need to do. They both handle communications, getting data back and forth. AS2 allows the data to be pushed directly to the server because you're listening for that incoming data, just like you're pushing it back to them. SFTP, the data is going to be sitting out there. But now here's the caveat. You're looking at certificates. Certificates need to get renewed, whether it's on a yearly basis, 5-year basis, 2-year basis, whatever it may be. Opening up ports, all of that kind of stuff. It's really up to you. I don't see a big difference in either one of them. And if you don't like either one of them and you only want to do one and have somebody else manage all of that, hey, get a van, get an EDI mailbox. Let the van handle all of the different certificate changes, all of those type of things. That's what you can pay them for. They can do your archiving. They can do all that kind of stuff. A lot of people are getting away from EDI mailboxes because they don't want them. It's really up to you. It's preference based. For me, I could care less. I just get it up, get it running. And then we deal with, renewals or certificates, opening of ports, whitelisting of IP addresses, whichever you want to do. But anyways, so for today, like I said, it's 2024. Thank you for listening in. Love all the comments. Looks like there's been some people waiting to ask me some things, which is great to see. Keep throwing them at me because, again, I don't know everything. I'll share as much as I do know. That's why I have a team of people on my staff that we're collectively, we try to bring as much knowledge to the table as we can. And again, I'm looking for some well-rounded EDI professionals, looking for somebody that knows the Boomi platform inside and out when it comes to EDI integrations. You're going to go through a technical interview. And if you can't answer the technical interview and you can't give these things off the top of your head, guess what? I'm sorry, you're just not the fit for our company. And it's not a knock on you. It's just letting you know you're just not a fit for us. Because again, we're not set up for training. If you like everything that you've been hearing, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn, do whatever you got to do, click the little bell icon, like us, comment, do everything and anything to spread the word. We're out here. I'm doing this with a passion. I've been doing this for a long time. Again, I appreciate every one of you for watching it, listening in. I'm not the end all be all when it comes to EDI and API knowledge and all of those things. I can only give you my vantage point and give you what I see coming in. Have a great 2024 and take care of people. Take care of yourselves. Good talking to you. I'll talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.